What's good? What's poppin', everybody? Hope you're all having a great day. Today we're talking some more New World bugs, and these ones are pretty big. It's big enough that essentially they shut down trading for right now. So as of right now, you cannot trade in the game. Now, apparently, as we're going to go through this, they are saying that they have a fix that they're going to be able to implement overnight, and essentially should be fixed by the end of this night. Hopefully, by the November 1st, the day making of this video. I'm not sure if this is for sure going to happen, if it's going to work, but this is what they said. Um, and there's some more bugs that I figured out about today that I wanted to share with you guys. I, it's hard for me to really be surprised at this point with these bugs and how many things we keep finding. It does suck to see more. Amazon at least seems to know about them, and hopefully tomorrow on Tuesday we're going to get some patch notes and bug fixes, and hopefully some of the stuff gets squared away. Because quite frankly, there's stuff that's legitimately making people drive people out of the game in droves, like multiple people are just leaving in like waves because of some of these really crazy bugs. But before we get into that, you already know if you are enjoying this, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It helps me out a lot. Let you know you enjoy this kind of content. Get out to more people. Subscribe if you haven't already. We just did a video every day for the rest of October, and that was super fun. And we're already back the next day with a video. So the content's still coming. We're not anywhere close to like slowing down or anything. It's just, whenever I feel like there's a video to be made, I will make one for you guys. So make sure you subscribe and click the bell to be notified when they do come up. Well, you guys, let's go right into the video. All right, so like I said, we're going to go over this duplication bug essentially that's in the game, and then I'm going to talk about some other ones that you guys might have heard of already, but if not, just be aware of it. So essentially, they are aware that there's a gold duplication exploit that has been circulating. They have temporarily disabled all forms of wealth transfer between players, sending currency, guild treasury, trading posts, player-to-player trading. Any player that uses it essentially is going to get banned, so don't use it. And this was about 8 hours ago. Now, this other thing, now this has been covered and people know about this, but this is something that I found and it's pretty recent. And it was essentially a dev responding to a couple different things and concerns about uh, the bug of the gold duplication bug and stuff, and kind of wanting to clear the air with some of the stuff. So anyway, it says like the dupe issue was fixed for closed beta. That's why it didn't exist in open beta. So essentially, some people are thinking this gold duplication bug was back from closed beta that was going on, and they never fixed it. That seems to not be the truth. They say the issues you are seeing are a different root cause than from previous alphas and betas. We are indeed looking into them and are actively working on getting it addressed as fast as we can. Some people might say this is BS. I'm going to take their word for it. They've been pretty open about stuff that when they made a mistake, and I don't obviously know what it takes to do this duplication bug. I obviously haven't done it myself, and I don't really play with people that are those kind of people that do that. So I'm not entirely sure how it all works. So I'm not sure how similar it is to the closed beta duplication bug or not. But I'm going to take their word for it that it's not. But that's the one of the responses in this. So if we go down here, it says we have another one saying we have a fix that is set overnight validation testing. If all goes well with testing, we will push a change into the game. So this is like the big thing, right? They're saying that they have a fix pretty much already, and hopefully they can implement it overnight, and it works out. And trading is less than like what 12 hours it was down or something. It gets fixed. That'd be really awesome if that's the case. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna at this point. Every time they try to implement a fix, something else seems to happen. So just gonna have to see. They are saying customer support is taking action against players who have engaged in this exploit. Essentially, it's a little weird. I think customer support is just Amazon support. I don't really know, but it's just kind of funny that they're saying customer support is. And this is what was interesting, saying as far as the impact on the economy, our economy team is leading that investigation. Will determine any next steps. They have an economy team. I know that. I don't know if you guys did. So that's interesting. I'm wondering how big that team is and exactly why. Like, was it just recently developed because the people's concerned with the economy? Has there always been an economy team? If you guys have any information on that, let me know down below. I think that's super interesting. It's cool they have an economy team. It actually makes me think that it makes me a little bit less worried about the economy because they have a team dedicated to it. So hopefully that means that it's not going to go as bad as we think. But anyway, I didn't know about this, but I think that's pretty cool. Some of these are just responding to people's comments. They're saying it's not done the same way in data, but to players, the actions are the same. I understand why it looks like we haven't fixed anything when the repro is the same. And that sucks for everyone because it's actually new but looks old. And I'm referring to the one that Good LA posted at this thread about. So essentially, they're just, concerning the previous remarks that it was the old, beta. They're saying, nope, wrong. What I said is correct. We fixed the ones from closed beta. We fixed ones from closed beta. You fixed it, but the exact same method that players can still dupe. Lol, no offense, just funny. I do find this interesting. It does sound like, they're people are really sure that it's the same one from the closed beta, or it's similar enough to maybe be it, and they're saying no. Again, I believe this. Amazon, from the perspective of us, right? They've been pretty transparent about what they've messed up on and whatnot. Whether that be right away they own up to it, or a little bit later they end up making a post about it. So I'd be surprised if they're really lying about it. They don't really have any incentive to be lying about it. They could, if it was from the closed beta, they could just easily be saying, "Yeah, this has been since the closed beta, but we we thought that people, like, it got fixed just by patching, or maybe they thought that people just wouldn't do it. They trust. I don't know. I From this standpoint, I'm on Amazon's side for this, as far as that this is a new thing. I'm not saying that it's a good thing, and it keeps bothering me that there's bugs that Amazon still has, and these are pretty big to where it's like shutting off the economy in the game essentially, right? Like no trading posts, no trading between players. Like that's literally shutting down the economy. And just think about if that had that in the real world, right? Like the government was like, "Hey, stop! You cannot buy anything. No one can make any kind of transactions for a day." It goes to hell, right? Like it's crazy, and rightfully so. People should be upset about it. So I understand people being upset about it. I just believe Amazon when they say that it was not from it's a different one from the closed beta. Now here's another one, and this is a little bit more intense of a remark. They're saying, "I'm being sincere when I say it. It's not funny. We worked really hard to get those changes that address the exploits from closed beta, and for another issue to show up that looks exactly the same way negates our work completely. We created this game for you all, and issues like this one where it looks like we are ignoring something that we all consider a huge problem makes us seem like we don't care. We care a lot, and I'm sorry this is happening." See, this is what I'm talking about when I say I think this. I believe Amazon, like they think about how it looks for the how it feels for them, right? Like they have a whole Amazon Game Studios, right? They have a game studios dedicated to making this game. It got way more popular and more people than they thought, to the point where they had to add more servers, all this stuff, right? And they just, I'm sure you've seen some people talk about it, but like a year and a half ago or something like that, they laid off a bunch of their software developers, to the point where now they're hiring like a crazy amount of software developers because they need it for the game. And it just they're probably not doing too good right now, and so it really sucks when they're probably trying, but they're not able to fix everything they need to fix right away, and people are just kind of shitting down their throats, and that sucks. I'm not trying to like excuse it, because some of these things are crazy, game breaking, to the point where they're making people quit, and I totally understand it, but it just sucks because I don't think it's not that Amazon isn't trying. It's just like I think that they are kind of at their limit of what they can do as of right now with the development team they have and everything. So I don't know. Hopefully they can hire some more people on and get some stuff more regularly fixed. And it's just, I talked about this in one of my other videos, but it's just crazy to think that most of the changes or patch notes when they come out, they're all just fixes, right? They're just fixes to making the game work as intended. It's not like they're doing balance changes or adding new things really. It's all just and fixes, because there's been so many things wrong that that's all that they could really focus on, is just fixing all these bugs, and then more just end up coming out of the patch. I've seen some people talk about this. I don't know if this is true or not, but like they're calling that what Amazon's coding is essentially called spaghetti code, and that it's foundationally flawed, and that when they add something else, they're just trying to add. They're like adding almost fuel to a fire. They're just throwing it into an already broken system, that, and then they just need to refix it. Like it's essentially fixing one problem to make another one. Whereas some people are saying that what they need to do, and these are people that are claiming to be developers or software people, right? And so I don't know if this is true. I'm not going to say this, but they're saying that they think Amazon needs to like shut it down a bit and restart over the coding from the baseline project, and then make a foundationally better like game, and then it should work. So I don't know if that's true. I don't know anything about this, but I'm just trying to explain to you guys what I've seen, and it just sucks because I don't think Amazon wants this. Like, and people are like, Amazon's just doing this, and then they're going to roll it all out and make it everything 100% better, because when they do that, that's when they're going to add that you can cash shop in the game and all this kind of stuff, and that's how they're going to essentially win. They're gonna beat everybody by making the game really not good, and then just after a couple months, they're gonna just turn off, like flip a switch, and the game's gonna be perfect and great, but it's gonna be pay to win. And it's just like I don't think that's true. At least I really hope it's not. I'm at this point I'm just kind of ranting, but there's been a lot of bugs, and I'm about to talk about some more that's been going on, and it is frustrating, and it is really like causing a really negative light on New World and making people quit and not want to play, or can't recommend it and stuff. And so it sucks to see that happening. And I don't think that the direction is to just try to like use and take advantage of the players that are going to stick around through all the shit that's been going on, right? The people that are going to keep playing New World through all this. I don't think Amazon's going to try to reward those players for being like, oh, you know what? Now we want your money. I don't think that's what they're going to do. At least I hope not, and that's not the vision I think Amazon has for this game. I think there's some more just little ones. They're just talking about some responding to back and forth some other comments. Now, I could bring it up, and if you guys want me to make another video, uh, working on this too, I'm assuming there's just a bunch of bugs, right? But I can make another. I might make another video if you guys want. Let me know down below about making another whole, because I just did a video on all the bugs in like one area, but there's more coming out, and so I can make another video on any updated in depth about those bugs and talking about them if you want. But right now, I'm just going to kind of go over overview of them. Again, if you want a full one, let me know down below. I'll be happy to make one, but I'm only want to make one if people really want to see it. But anyway, one of them is like an infinite damage almost with the hatchet. It's essentially you can make it to do like 3 times as much damage as your shoe should, and essentially like it's so that's really bad as itself, right? Like the hatchet was already arguably one of the better weapons in the game, alongside the great axe. The great axe has a bug with the charge, right, and the bloodlust to be able to run really like it's bugged, right, to make you run really fast all the time, essentially. So that's bad. And then you add a hatchet. People are doing great axe hatchet, and then you have game breaking bugs with them. And yeah, so the hatchet you can essentially get 3 times the damages going on. And then on top of that, people are doing abusing the resilient. So I covered it, and I didn't think it was that big, but I didn't real I kind of was mistaken at the time of not really realizing what it means. So resilient is supposed to reduce critical damage that you take, but instead it's just a flat amount of damage. So people are nigh impossible to kill with that perkin. It's through Onyx, the Onyx gem, and then on top of that, you run. People are running the like. There's a food bug essentially where you could stack so many foods onto you that you can recover up to like 5% of your health every 2.5 seconds. So you know when you get like well fed, you get like what it's like 0.5 or 1% of your health back every 2.5 seconds. And before we knew that you could do up to 2, so you can get like 1.5% of your health or 2% every 2.5 seconds. But there's a exploit bug that essentially you can stack multiple food buffs and get up to like 5%. So you have 5% healing every 2.5 seconds of your max health. You have the hatchet doing 3 times as much damage, and then you have bloodlust on top of that, which also heals you. And you have the plate wearing resilient that essentially makes you unkillable. And when you add those 3 things, and then on top of that, that person could also be running either a life staff or you could have a life staff with you, in which they said they fixed it, but I've heard that it's still working where people can just crouch spam and get healed up. So it's just a lot of really crazy things, and people are quitting. Everyone thought Outpost Rush was going to potentially save the game or like really open it up, and it did at first until we started seeing all these exploits and bugs that people were abusing. And now people are literally quitting purely because of you go into Outpost Rush, and all you see is the hatchet with late armor resilience and the stacked food buff, and then maybe they run around with a life staff user, and then it's just like it's unkillable, it's unfun, it's unplayable. And I will 100% agree. I think that is just terrible, and that needs to be fixed immediately. Hopefully, they can fix in the next day or two, or they're going to start losing a lot of players. Another kind of bug that I wanted to talk about that. So we already knew that the fire staff and ice gauntlet were kind of bugged, but it's essentially more of the same thing of how bad it is. It's just more abilities are seeming to be even more inconsistent. Fireball still just like not going through people. Incinerate on the fire staff, the AOE, spin thing doesn't knock them back sometimes, doesn't actually do damage, doesn't heal you. Ice Gauntlet, same thing. Sometimes the auto attacks are like going through people now, even the auto attacks. So it's just a lot of really bad things. It seems like the only weapons that don't really have a bug with them are like the sword and shield, the rapier, the bow, and the musket, I think. Or even some, maybe the spear, I guess, too. But everything else seems to have a bug to it. And also, I just found this out in one of my comments in my other videos when I was doing the bugs, covering the last set of bugs. Somebody brought up to my attention that there's a hammer bug apparently with shockwave, and that it only does it like caps at how many people it does damage to, or maybe or something like it's like he said that he got up like 20 enemies and he tried shockwave, and he said only like 4 of them even took damage and got stunned. The rest nothing. So there's another bug there. So anyway, I can go more into depth looking like at some people's complaints and like videos and stuff. If you want me to do a full in-depth video with the more exploits and stuff, let me know down below and bugs. But anyway, guys, I think that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. Have you guys quit the game yet, or like how much longer are you willing to hold out for these bugs? Like I said, I've said this before. I'm still in this for the long haul. I still see me giving this game like 6 more months before. If nothing gets fixed in like 6 months, I probably will stop playing. But I really highly doubt that. That's why I haven't quit, because I really don't believe that this game is going to be that bad. In a couple months, a lot of stuff is going to be squared away. Hopefully, we get some new content and things just start going uphill. Like I can't think of a game. I mean, we've had games like Fallout 76 and the Cyberpunk, right, that had really really terrible starts, and now they're better games. But because some people had some bad taste in the mouth because of how the launch was, they won't even give the game a chance going back. That's kind of how I feel. Not gonna lie about Fallout 76. I didn't play Cyberpunk. I still haven't. And before I start getting a bunch of hate in the comments, but I haven't done it yet. But for Fallout 76, it was a really terrible launch, and I felt really, really betrayed, right, for lack of a better term. And so I was like, I'm not playing this. And I've heard that it's gotten way better. Still not going to do it though. And that you could say that's petty, but that's just how the fact of the matter of what happens to some people. Once you have something bad happen to you, you're not wanting to go back, or you're not willing to give it another chance. It's like, why would I when I can go to this other game that doesn't have that, right? So anyway, I keep ranting. I don't want to. I do plan on making a video here, hopefully soon, kind of about my expectation of the future of New World and how I'm feeling about it and everything. TLDR, I still support, and I still think I'm still going to play it and make content on it and everything. I still do believe in the game for right now. If that changes, I will let you know. I'm 100% honest. As soon as I stop believing in this game, or I won't do like something like that, I will tell you guys. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it. If you did enjoy this, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm sorry this ended up being a lot longer than I ever thought it was going to be. I thought that it was going to be a shortish video just explaining about it, but I feel like we need to talk, right? There's a lot going on. I'm going to leave a link for all this stuff in the description below so you guys can check it out yourself. Like the video if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you haven't already. Be part of this really awesome, great, growing community. And let me know down below your thoughts on all this stuff, and how much longer you're willing to give Amazon before you hit the road. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Until next time, take it easy.